And we're back now with more Reset. I'm Sasha-Anne Simons. And cue the music. The fast tempo, the choppy vocal samples, the snares, and the deep bass lines that just make your body move. This is footwork music, and just like house music, it was made right here in Chicago. This track is called Feelin' by the late footwork pioneer DJ Rashad. The genre has continued to evolve and grow to even international listeners since its creation in the 90s. And who better to learn more about this Chicago dance genre than the Era Footwork Crew? We are joined in the studio by crew members Stilo, P-Top, and Lightbulb. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you.
What up?
Thank you for taking the time, schooling us all in a little footwork. We appreciate you.
Say less.
I'll start with you, Lightbulb. Let's get a definition in there. How would you actually describe footwork?
Chicago, actually, we working on the new definition for footwork just to get it, nailed down. Chicago Footwork, and its predecessor name, Juke, is pretty much a dance and music form from Chicago done at 160 beats per minute. And that's kind of what sells it.
160 beats per minute.
Yeah, it used to be at 140 before it even had a name, but then it migrated and transformed to 160 because of the DJs and them seeing, them being dancers themselves.
Yeah. So for someone who's never heard this, what are the essential parts of the music? How would you describe what we're hearing?
You hearing a lot of 808 beats, a lot of samples,
hi-hats,
soul samples, kicks, drum patterns, a lot of different bass lines that kind of make up what the sound of what footwork is because we take inspiration from everywhere.
Yeah. And P-Top, clear this up for us. How are footwork, juke, ghetto house, and Detroit techno connected?
It all started in house parties and communities. So, you will always get that feeling, dancing, moving to crazy sounds and stuff like that. To me, my personal, I think it's just different. It's more like you get to express yourself in wherever you at. 'Cause it could be played wherever.
With footwork, specifically?
Footwork, juke, techno, all that. It all kind of relates, as far as, tempo and putting different sounds and sounds you would never thought you would hear that go
together.
Yeah, that aspect.
Expressing yourself. So, Stilo, we can't talk about the music without talking about the dancing, right? So, P-Top talks about expressing yourself. But tell us more about how you do express yourself through this style of dancing.
Of course, it's motion, it's movement. I think that goes.
So you got the arms and legs going at the same time?
It's the whole body. It's called footwork, but it's the whole body because it's a spirit. It's something you feel as well on the dance floor. So the dancing is, like I said, it's highlighting feet, but the feet are the brain, and your hands follow or your body follows. And then when you learn the proper way, you kind of understand, or you feel how things are supposed to go. As far as foundation, and then building on foundation, so you don't get too wild. But the dance is, the movement of it is a very big part of it, along with the music.
Yeah. So the creation and legacy of footwork, it's also intertwined by the lived experiences of the dancers and the DJs and the producers on Chicago's South and West Sides. And that extends to the suburbs, too. So I want to hear from each of you. What does footwork represent for you personally? I'm looking at you first, Lightbulb.
It represents voice, being able to express yourself through dance and body movements, but also having a voice to be able to speak on tracks, things that we do now in terms of rapping over tracks. It transforms all of these feelings that we had all of these years growing up to be able to express it over the music now. And still be able, at the peak of our dance, it kind of represents that voice that footwork always needed. But it's just something I always had, because I've always been that quiet kid.
Yeah.
Growing up, I got a sense of humor, you know what I'm saying? But I got a lot in me.
Now, if we turn on a footwork track, you're spilling everything.
My energy, or some type of, I want to say my senses, my energy is going to get aroused. You feel me? I'm going to start feeling this type of energy throughout the room. And that's just what footwork does to me. It gives me that voice to be able to express myself in full flesh. Some people can't handle it sometimes. But, that voice is still going to be said and spoke and heard.
You're nodding, Stilo. Do you agree? Is that
definitely
what it represents for you, too?
Yes, definitely, I agree. But footwork for me represents a lot of things. I would say community, lifestyle, And like Bub said, you get to experience a lot. So I like to think that everything we do is kind of through the lens of footworking, because we have been able to put ourselves on many different plateaus or pedestals in different art forms or different areas of doing things, but it's all been through footworking. Like myself, I'm a fashion designer, but I'm not necessarily worried about being labeled a designer because I'm a footwork artist. Like we're expanding what it means to be a footwork artist. So footworking means everything, because I feel like we do everything under or through the lens of footwork.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yes.
I know, like Eureka.
We heard it here
Eureka.
first.
Footwork designer.
Yes.
Designer, boy.
Let's
So,
start
yeah,
that. Let's make that a thing, right?
Yeah, so along with like putting out just dance, bodies of work that's dance, I also get to focus on the fashion part, the costume design, and it helps me convey a message in total.
What about you, P-Top?
Well, he pretty much hit it with the community, because I'm much of a community guy. I'm more of a people person.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, community and lifestyle.
Is that what the P stands for?
Nah,
I'm just kidding.
Nah,
What the P stand for is
Me,
crazy.
me and my mom jokes.
that's funny. But, like, community is a big thing, because this thing, you couldn't go to school for this. This is something that created an entire community. This is a language that we all have. Sometimes, like, some people don't know how to speak regularly to each other. So by these guys, me knowing them for damn near 20 plus years before we even made the Era, we communicated with dance. Like, like these are we're both from different groups.
Yeah.
So like, being from a different part of Chicago, I'm from the north side of Chicago, uptown.
Mm-hmm.
Bub is from like the southwest of Chicago, Stilo over east. So like,
Everybody's coming together.
yeah, that's why I say communities and lifestyle. And also a sport, because it's like we always, like, within our community, we always preparing the next generation of footwork. So it's like, you might as well say we stepdads in this. You know what I'm saying? In that sense. So, like,
Hey.
yeah.
Let me
That's
clear
far.
something up. We did not know this boy 20 years before we started.
It's
the
been
Era.
like, no,
And
it's
we
been
is not
I
stepdad.
saw
No.
your face when he said
Not
stepdad.
but you play that role, though, especially when you got kids involved.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes
We
it
as
ain't just
mentors.
dancing. I mean, yeah, mentors, but the proper term is pillars. There we go.
There
we
we
are
go.
pillars
Not
in the
stepdad.
community.
Like that.
We love the stepdaddies though.
Shout out to the stepdads.
Man, it's crazy.
I'm going to pause right here. Just got to remind you, Stilo, when you're talking, your habit is to tap. And we hear the sounds of the tapping as you talk on the table. So just try not to tap.
sure.
Or if you're going to tap, I think you got the little mat thing on.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm tapping.
Yeah, I think you just because
sure.
you're like
Oh,
so
the
deep into
table.
the conversation, but you just like, it's just a
Hidden
habit.
stuff.
You
I
tap.
got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Just reminding you. All right.
Tapper.
Here we go. Okay, so people like DJ Rashad, DJ Spin, DJ Clint, RP Boo, and more, they were some of the pioneering producers of footwork music back in the early 90s. So I want to listen to a classic RP Boo track.
But show. Hold on, which one? Go ahead. On my life.
Okay.
On
Heavy
my life.
heat.
Yeah, this is a classic.
So that's Heavy Heat by RP Boo. And I just want to take a moment to just appreciate the energy from this track. I saw, first of all, off as soon as we played it. And the use of the Godzilla sample. I've noticed that Chicago and Detroit DJs alike, I mean, they love sampling the Godzilla theme.
Yeah.
I mean,
reason.
what do you think it is?
I think go ahead.
Within many things culturally, like movies, it relates to everybody because we all seen through it or we all been through it.
Yeah. It's
not to say
recognizable,
Godzilla-
too.
Yeah, it's recognizable. To say the least. And that hits home. That hits home. So I think that's why everybody uses it. And then things like movies. I know RP is working on some crazy heat.
No good.
Yeah,
That's sampling a movie. I ain't gonna say which one, but he working on some heat.
Okay.
Yeah. And then to add on to that, like just the spirit of what that Godzilla track, the sound that come from that Godzilla track, it brings a different aggression. It kind of mirrors what kind of that friendly aggression that's within footwork.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings it out with the way that Godzilla sample is being used. And I think because I know RP Boo, so I know like, he used to be a dancer, so he's looking for that aggression, and like that track kind of mirror his kind of spirit a little bit.
Yeah. Well, how do you think footwork has evolved over the years, Lightbulb?
Footwork.
When you think back to, way back when you started,
even
people
before then,
before you.
it didn't even have a name. People were just, I want to say, doing these different moves throughout Chicago. They was doing the Running Man, Sailboat, the Ghost. But all of these moves were kind of done together, and that kind of formulated what footwork was. But it didn't have a name. I called it pre-footwork because it was like we talking 85, in that 85-year range between 85 and 90 before it even had a name.
Yeah.
So, and then from that standpoint, you get dancers coming in like Anthony Brown. But before then, you had people like Bo. That's pre-footwork. Bo, people like the Untouchables. I want to say, what's his name? Calvin and Goose. Michael Stems. These people like are kind of like the original forefathers that formulated putting these moves together to utilize. But then Anthony Brown came later, I want to say the early '90s. He formulated combinations, which is like a new thing for people. I want to say because before people footworked in very pattern-like movements.
Yeah.
People never took all of the moves and kind of made these different patterns.
Is it like choreography?
Yeah, it looked very choreographed.
Yeah.
When people came out with combinations, it like Anthony Brown kind of changed the format of how footwork looked to people. And they was the only ones that was doing it in a certain period of time from the 90s all the way up into the, I want to say still to this day.
Yeah.
They still like some of the legends. They in their 40s.
Interesting.
So yeah, I think that was one of the biggest changes. Now in terms of the music was definitely done to, I want to say, beat music, because they wouldn't even calling it house music. Like if you ask some people from out west, they were saying they was doing beat music and beat dancing, and it was these house dancing, like house music parties versus beat dancing, and they was doing these different movements in this time period, and that kind of grew. And then it was all these things was done like 140, and then Rashad, Spin, I want to say Greedy, people like Clint, all these different people, and they made footwork tries going into the newer years in the 2000s. I mean, I want to say the mid 90s into the 2000s up to
And
where we
they
at now.
Turned up the speed too.
Turned up the speed, tracks, man, like the people from
Yeah.
out west kind of came in and kind of like sped it up, and it kind of worked.
Interesting. So Stilo and P-Top, I mean, do you feel a responsibility then to continue that legacy?
Yes, of course. Everything we do is community focused or in that area, and we know it's been unspokenly adorned on us, like, okay, to carry the culture to the next level or the next area we see it to. Because it was a point in time where I didn't even think we'd be doing some of the things that we'd be doing. So yeah, it is a big responsibility just to show these kids like what you can do as a dancer. Like nobody ever told me, or I'm pretty sure y'all can say like, okay, you could be a dancer. Of course, you could be a hooper, you could be a doctor, and so many other things. But a dancer wasn't even thought of. Like this was just something I did organically and fell in love.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. How do you feel?
I mean,
P-Top?
yeah, it's definitely our responsibility because it's like,
There's a whole other generation, coming up behind you.
yeah,
That, I mean, someone's got to teach them.
yeah, but and our biggest goal was to not have no disconnection with the other generations before us. So I think what the Era did, we pulled them together. Also teach history, the core bases of everything.
Yeah.
Like right now, Bub is doing a project to get history and recreate it with the ghost. So like that's the part of our mission. We all hands on to what anybody's doing within our group. But yeah, that's the whole importance of teaching kids and then teaching them to be better leaders than us, because like what we didn't succeed, they could, or so on and so on.
Right. Yeah, you're part of this group is called the Era, Lightbulb, and Stilo. You co-founded the group. This was back in 2014.
No, it wasn't me.
Yeah, it was like
it was-
me, Chief Manny, who not here in the desert somewhere.
Who's not here with us today?
Stilo, P-Top, and we had another member named City. Shout out to City. We all was a part of like kind of coming up with this new thing that we was doing to like perform, because we was at the peak of battling. Like we had did it for so long in terms of battling different crews. It was like, let's start performing and creating choreography and doing our own thing. And this was early on. And that that's when we was called New Era at first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, we was performing at the car shows and all kinds of things of that nature. And then that turned into, we went and did a movie, me and P-Top, back in like I think it was like 2013.
2013.
For Al Pacino. It's called Manglehorn.
Oh,
Nobody ever seen this movie.
I'm going to look for it now.
I know nobody ever seen it, but go watch Manglehorn just for our part. You feel me? Because we went crazy real quick. You feel me? But like,
I think that's why people actually watch the
I know.
movie.
Hit us up, Al. You feel me? We looked out.
You're
You
doing all
feel
the
me?
promotion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we
Yeah.
really did something good together.
All of a
You know what
sudden,
I'm
the
saying?
numbers for that movie
You
just.
feel me? Like, people gonna go watch that now. You feel me?
Right.
Like, we in the Actors Guild because of that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
Look out for us. You know? But yeah, like, so like, when we, you know, we was in rival groups as well. We was in Terror Squad. He was in Goon Squad. So to see him at the same shoot I'm at, I'm like, I should cook you right now. But that turned into me like,
That's very dance culture too, because I mean, growing up, I did hip hop too, and it was the same
For sure.
thing where, you know, you went to high school and you know you had a crew, and you know other girls that you know from around the way they had a crew.
Yep.
You would see each other at talent shows at best, right? And then,
Yeah.
but then later on in life, you're friends, or you join the same crew later on, and so it just kind of ends up coming full circle, no matter how you look at it. The Era's motto is "Footwork saves lives."
on me.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I mean, we products of it. We could have been in a ton of different things. Not good though. Especially being from Chicago, being from the areas that we was in, doing the things we doing. Like, people think that because we was dancers, you know, like we around all of the people who, you know, moving product, you know what I'm saying? Or people who in the streets, like we around these people. These our brothers. These our family. These our sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like these people who we live and grow with every day, who really not into the most positive things, but the positive, but the most positive thing they do have is footworking. And that's what we had as a unit. Like,
Yeah, you chose a different lane.
yeah, but like we all had that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you was a hooper, whether you know what I'm saying, you had a job, whether you was in the streets, whether you was in, you know, moving, whatever you was doing, like, but we all had this community thing of footworking. You know what I'm saying? Like, even him being the Goon Squad, they had their own family. Like every
T-Top.
footwork group, every footwork crew in Chicago had their own form of a family unit that kept them, you know, it was like, this is your thing to do. This is our family. This is our unit. This is what we have. And like, you know, we had sisters, we had brothers, like we had people that played the mother role, father role, like all these different groups had these different levels of or tiers to them. That was a family unit. And that's kind of what footwork has always been, this community-oriented thing that brought people together from all different factors of life.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same. I think Footwork Saves Lives just speaks to all the generations it's been, from house on up or whatever it may be, because like you said, you have other people that do other things. They do hair, they're accountants, they're, you know, lawyers or whatever, but they all had a taste of Chicago Footwork, and Chicago Footwork played its part in their life, and we're products because we've been living with footwork for more than half our life.
Yeah.
And then I think with us expanding it, like it just continues to grow on what you can do, even if not being a dancer. Like you could just be somebody in the party just listening, and footworking might have you in the right place at the right time to help you realize something, or, you know, experience something that you never would if you didn't like dance or didn't like footwork specifically.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, this is Reset. I'm Sasha-Anne Simons, and we're sitting down with the Era Footwork Crew members, Lightbulb, P-Top, and Stilo. So let's talk about the fact that you all released your new EP Combo Pack last month. Congratulations.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Something you all can add to your repertoire is rapping. I know you talked a little bit about that already, Lightbulb, but why did you decide to incorporate rapping into Combo Pack, P-Top?
Well, I think it's more important to hear like how we feel with our own footwork music. You know what I'm saying? Talk about what we do as a dancer, as a, you know, footwork artist. And we don't like calling ourselves rappers. I think the term was footwork with words.
Footwork with words.
Yeah. I coined that. I coined that. I did that.
Stilo coined that. But I mean, it's expressing ourselves, and you know how hip hop got its own culture, dance culture. Chicago Footwork got that too. So they had rappers, DJs, dancers, and all that. So it's like we are immune to everything that's going on because we so unique with what we do. So we was like, why not just, you know, like the thing how it happened was Bub came to practice. Man, what if we just talk that? I'm like, you talk about rapping?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah. Man, like 2 or 3 weeks straight, that's all he was doing, like trying to rap to the song. Then we all like coexist with each other, so we follow along and did it. And then we was like, let's just put a project out because, you know, I think it was more important to the dancers have voices.
Yeah. How did you come up with the name Combo pack.
Oh, they,
Combo pack is a play on "Show Me Your Best Combination," which some people might know from a movie. What's the movie? I don't know.
Five Heartbeats.
Five Heartbeats. I always say
yes.
it wrong. Right. So it's the scene in there
That's a classic.
where they bring a older guy in, and he wants to show combos, but somebody in the group is like, nah, you're trying to replace me. But he like, show me your best combination. So we just wanted to like, a lot of people in footwork and they got the foundation, right? But it's like, how do you expand on that? Some people might go the wrong way. So from the foundation and the basics, you put together those basics and you make combo packs.
Yeah.
And that's how you essentially make up a footwork round. A footwork round is a whole combo pack, or a set of basics can be a combo pack that, you know what I'm saying, that you use in a battle. So that's what that was.
Yeah, I love that you're staying to the tried and true footwork basics on this as well.
To add on to that a little bit, we wanted to take, 5 different versions of what a footwork track could possibly sound like with words on it and put it into a combination package for people to get a taste of what's to come from us, and just how we trying to expand what that footwork sounds like.
Yeah. Well, let's listen to a track from the new EP. This is called We Gon' Step.
All my life. This time.
this time.
Yeah, this time.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
time.
is this time? This is
Yeah,
for.
this time.
Oh, this is for later. This is number 4. This is number. There we go.
This we gonna step. All my life.
Oh, footworking with words, for real.
Yep.
So I mentioned DJ Spin earlier. You've had the opportunity to work and tour with him and with DJ Rashad in the past.
Yeah.
He actually produced this one and is featured on another song you have called Who Betta.
Yeah.
So what is it like to work with somebody like him, like DJ Rashad?
DJ Rashad is like, he got this super, whenever I was around, we was making tracks, he got like this super creative spirit, like it's always like trying to create something that's super cold. You know
And
what
what's
I mean?
Spin like?
Spin is like some super player. They got all of the knowledge in terms of like whatever super, I want to say
Sonically, he
super
got it.
sonically, like he like the player know all of the soul samples, know the history of the song. He know about all of the artists that we want to be into in terms of learning how to be MCs or whatever the case may be. Like he know all of that type of shit because he grew up in that era. You know what I'm saying? So he got the experience, and like he been trying to get people to rap on tracks forever.
So you learn a lot from him.
Yeah, like he helped us unlock a lot of different things in terms of like how we want to sound, our energy and our confidence, and just how it all can work together to really turn ourselves into, people who could perform.
So when you're picking, you're sort of going through music tracks, what would you say makes a track good for footworking?
Any track.
Really?
Any track that might convey emotional, you know what I'm saying? Give you a feeling. So within the footwork community, we know a lot of songs. Of course, coming up, us being in the age range that we in, we know about the old school songs, but some kids are just finding out about this old school sound through a footwork track. So they don't even know this song has been made or where it's from necessarily, but they know they hypnotized by this footwork track. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because you use words that make me actually visualize what the movements look like. When you talked earlier, I think one of you said it was like the spirit.
Yeah.
Like when the spirit hits you, and you talked about being hypnotized. I want to talk about the cover of your EP.
Oh, for sure.
So it's got you 3 plus crew member Chief Manny.
Yeah.
And then DJ Spin's kind of looking at you all practicing your moves, which is super cool. I mean, what were you guys doing during the shoot, P-Top?
So like going back to the reference of the 5 Heartbeats, when they was practicing, getting ready, and the choreographer came in there, orchestrating the stuff or whatever. It's kind of like that. We was going for that look.
Yeah.
As a group with soul and uniqueness and all that.
Ah.
Like just I like it. We was in some dress shoes, pants, shirts.
That's different for you.
Yeah, Stilo and Manny had on bowling shirts. Bub looked like he owned a rent-a-car service. Like, we looked nice. So it was just, I think going through it with another angle with it and giving the footwork cover art a different look, like, because it comes from gutter thing, but it's like if we could produce it the way we want to produce it, like we could do anything.
Yeah.
I think it's a visual representation of like exactly what you said of like us learning from spin to help, to help grow. I think that's what that looks like. But along with the recreation from the movie, of course.
Yes.
That's gold.
Like it just goes into that world building, like trying to bring people into this world that we trying to create around our art. Not just putting out a project that don't really just a name.
Right.
Anything on it. Like we're really trying to put effort into the work that we doing and really care about the art and trying to create something for people to really get attached to and experience like how we did. And we kind of referencing Granny Crib because like it looked like your grandmother's crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even from that Power Heartbeat, like they was in their grandmother's crib. You feel me? Like that's a sanctuary for people because like that's what we used to practice at.
So, we've talked a lot about the producers and DJs who kind of helped create Footwork as we know it today. But I'm curious, who are some of the up and coming DJs and producers that, you all maybe want to shout out right now?
For sure. For me, I know. Because we got different age ranges. Like, we talking like young?
I mean, up and coming. Just maybe they just haven't had their moment yet to
Right.
shine that you think.
Right.
Like people
This
you don't
person,
know.
this person's doing really good stuff. You guys should check them out.
I would
sure.
say DJ Lucky.
Yeah.
I would
For
say
sure.
DJ
Lucky.
Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I would say up like younger up and coming.
Yeah.
DJ Corey.
For sure.
I will say but you got different from producers and track makers.
Yeah.
So
It is different between
yeah,
producers
it's a
and track
difference.
makers.
So like
tell me.
Like, producers make songs. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
They
Like,
make beats.
They make beats and songs, and track makers can make like a quick track that's about 2 minutes or a minute and a half or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's,
Oh, okay.
it's just
So it's more so about length.
I wouldn't
of
even
the
say it's more
project.
about length. I would just say structure.
structure
Structure and the way they put it
experience.
together and experience and just the years in the game. You can tell,
Oh, okay.
more or less.
Shoot, you're teaching me. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, these are things that we had to grow up and see and learn ourselves because we danced to it. So
Yeah. Where do you all battle in the city?
anyway, we
Everywhere.
can battle here.
Right. Right.
Anyway, it can happen
Anywhere.
anywhere. Like if we on that type of time with you, it
We
get
can-
like that.
Can we battle right now at Navy
Yeah.
Pier?
Yeah, we can.
You know what I'm saying? Like it'll get like that.
Cut this off. I'm about to battle her.
Because we
After the interview.
we train the footwork, so it's like it help us stay ready. You feel me? Like we still in that mode where like we full on footwork artists. We just
Yeah.
we're
At
at the
any
highest
point.
level.
At
Oh,
any
yeah.
time.
That's it.
We were just battling at P-Top. P-Top got the event that he
Oh,
put together for the youth, to kind of like the youth. But it's called The Ring, where he kind of brings everybody together, but especially the youth, and kind of spreads opportunity through the event. But
Yeah.
I think, we was just battling there.
Just battling the kids there.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was kicking the leg here and there, but I had to make sure the event go. But they was going crazy. Them
Yeah.
too.
We terrorized.
Yeah, I was telling them calm down.
And that's big because we having fun.
They got the spirit. So where can people go to experience Chicago's footwork and juke themselves? Like the people listening.
Oh, for sure. Well, like this weekend, you feel me? Like we created, you know what I'm saying? Like a space for people to come, and we bring it back our event lab sessions, which we ain't through it in 8 years.
Wow.
And we
So it's
was
back
like,
after 8 years.
back after 8 years. We're like, man, we're
Lab
gonna bring it back.
sessions.
We're gonna bring it back different though. Like we want to bring it back, and we want to bring in our friends so we could perform. We ain't performed our music in a while either. Like, so we ain't performed our music since some of our first mixtapes, like since 2016 probably. So like, we just been like strictly in the dance world, creating art, and art exhibitions, whatever you want to call it. We've been in that lane. So
Yeah.
like, but to throw a show, it's like we was like, we got to bring lab sessions back to make it happen the right way.
So what time on the weekends?
So it's gonna be at Granny Crib, 325 North Hoyne, from 7 to 11 at Granny Crib.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? You can pull up. The ticket links is live on all our pages. It's $5 to get in for the fee-in. We wanted to make sure people can get in.
It's on Saturday?
It's on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? It's an intimate show. You know what I'm saying? We wanted for people who really rock with us,
Right.
really take their time to listen to the music, listen to the, watch the documentary, to come and experience it with us, and really see footwork in a different light. Because we
Okay.
coming different. And we got Spin, we got Jenna Rush, we got Janet.
Everybody's there.
You know what I'm saying? We got
Yeah.
Janet there. Really just trying to bring the community together.
Whole family.
You know what I'm saying? And really make it a good time. You know what I'm saying? And we got Cock Crusade there too. You feel me? The young bull who coming up. You know what I'm saying? Who like really making his way in the hip hop lane, the music lane right now. So
Vibes
you know
all
what I'm saying?
around.
Like,
Yeah.
the different type of things. So people should definitely put up the lab sessions if y'all want to see footwork and juke and like really get it in with. And we teaching. We
Yes.
teaching like throughout the party. We teaching.
So
throughout the
you
whole
are
party.
teaching. So
Yeah.
I could come by.
You can come learn. You can come learn.
Yes.
You at Grady Crib.
November
Yes.
We at Grady
23rd.
Crib. You feel me? So like people go like we got Crystal coming. You feel me? She wanted to like she the rawest girl for I've ever seen in my life per se. And then we got Bernard, another legend coming in who will teach us.
Nice.
So we will be teaching. Bernard and Crystal will be teaching.
So I'm going to come to the lab session before I'm ready to, because I got to learn first before I battle you. Because I challenged you to a battle, but I
less.
realized I wasn't ready yet.
No,
Say less.
always
I'll
gotta
be
Got to
waiting.
do the lab session first.
I'll be waiting for you.
All right, we've been talking with some of the members of the Era Footwork Crew, P-Top, Lightbulb, and Stilo. Such a pleasure talking with you guys. Thank you for stopping by. And we'll go out on one more track off the EP, Combo Pack. This one is Time. And we don't have to play it now because we're going to mix this all together
For sure.
properly later. But how'd that feel?
That was good.
Good.
That was good.
Everything was good? Yeah. So